Hi there, this is Rosie from BuggyBaby. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Chicco Poly Progress 5, which I have here in the box in front of me. So I'm going to open it up, assemble it on camera and talk through some of the things that I've found. And by the end of the video, I hope you'll just be able to decide whether it's the right purchase for you. Now, the first thing I noticed when getting the product in was how heavy the box is. It's a very substantial sized box, which hints to the quality of the Highchair inside. But what is most unusual really, or struck me, was this big 0+ on the box. So for a Highchair, you're expecting it to be suitable for 6 months plus when your child starts to eat for the first time and test out those finger foods, but increasingly manufacturers have been making them suitable from birth, so your child can actually sit in these little chairs and, like this little baby here, take their milk as well as experiment with first foods. So let's open the box and see how it looks. Now, Chicco are an Italian brand, and it says here that the product is made in Italy. And yes, indeed, we have some multi-language information here, along with some pictures of the different modes that we can expect from the Poly Progress 5. So as I mentioned before, the newborn mode, and then looks like a little booster chair, and also the traditional high chair setup. So we're going to look at all those in turn. So inside the box, the Poly Progress 5 from Chicco comes sort of shrink wrapped in this plastic here. All feels nice and solid, and buffered at the end some polystyrene. It looks like there's a frame here, and then tucked in the side some kind of seat fabric. So I'm going to get all this out and we'll see exactly what you get in the box. As you can see, the Poly Progress 5 is named for the 5 different modes that we can create from this high chair, and it comes very securely wrapped in this polythene here, which I am now going to snip off. First out is the tray. And then next up we have some kind of booster unit in grey here, and some kind of mechanically bits, which I'm just going to put to one side for a moment. And out comes the booster seat with what looks like a harness, a user guide. Great. Oh, some kind of foot plate, and then of course the frame itself, which feels very sturdy and is wrapped very well. So what I'm most interested in about the Poly Progress is that you can use it from birth, like I said before. So according to the instructions, we start with this frame, which opens out like so, nice and, gosh, that is really, really robust. That feels like quite a wide sort of high chair. Very, very secure, very stable. And look, here it tells us it can take up to 30 kilos, which is quite some weight. Right, that's the frame unfolded. Now let's look at the booster. Actually, next I'm going to extend this footrest here. I really like how easily that moves. You just press the buttons in either side, and it comes right up. Cool. And to variable leg positions, which is going to be great for our little one when they want to either lay right back with their legs out or upright with their legs down. Now I've just put the booster, attached it to the frame, and that was really, really simple, just by pressing this button on the side. You have 2 dark grey buttons on this model. Push them up and push them in to get them really firm onto the frame. Let's try that again. Cool. While I've got the bare bones of the Chicco Poly Progress 5 out, I thought it'd be good to sort of take a look around without any of the fabrics on. And you can see at the back that by pressing this button underneath, you can recline the seat into different positions, all the way to, well, practically lie flat. So that must be the newborn position, and then up. That feels really, really solid. I like that. And now let's soften it up a bit. This is the seat fabrics. It feels very substantial, like the rest of the Poly Progress. It has this zip here, which I believe allows us to remove this external part. So this must be in newborn mode here. So somehow I need to attach this onto the Highchair. I've got a zip part at the back. So let's have a little play around with that. So I've managed to hook the seat fabric over on the back like so. So you've got that hole there, matches that one. And then it's just a case of unclipping the harness, which is a 5-point harness, and threading the parts through under there and out through your chosen height position on the front. And here they come, wiggle, 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 nice and easy. And then we'll just do the same with the sides like this. This one. I have to say, I'm liking how easy this one is to put together so far. Very impressive. So there we have the harness in place, 5-point safety harness. Fabrics on the front of here all feel good, nice and padded, definitely waterproof, wipe-proof, which is essential, of course, in a Highchair. Now, like I mentioned before, this is a newborn mode, so effectively your child can lay right back in this very padded and comfortable seat and chill out there effectively after having a bottle or some milk, and relax there with the rest of the family, which is really lovely. You know, you don't want necessarily your child to be in their cot straight after eating. It's nice for them to interact with the rest of the family, so that's a lovely little feature. As I mentioned earlier, this footrest is completely adjustable, sort of flippy. You just press this button here to move it up and down. So at the moment I have it in the most flat position for your newborn. Right, so that was newborn mode. Mode 2, let's say your baby's now reached 6 months and they're not necessarily going to need all this sort of padded head area. So Chicco have made it quite easy to convert it into a regular traditional Highchair, this sort of clever way. We're simply zipping off this back section and unzipping it there. Now that we're in traditional Highchair mode, there's a couple of things that you can do to make it more versatile for your growing baby. Like we mentioned before, you can bring the seat position up so that it's nice and upright rather than laid back, and you can adjust the height of the legs nice and easily. What else? Of course, I should have mentioned the tray. This is the first thing that came out the box. Oh, it's on wheels. That's handy. So even with one hand, I can move this Highchair around nice and easily, which would be handy if we're moving our dinners from different rooms. And then this tray just clips onto the front. But first, of course, I need to extend out the arms. Press that button there. There's one. Oh, it's because it's new. It's all feeling very, very stable and secure, but it's clicking nicely now. I've got it moving. So there are the arms for the tray, and as you can see, it has numbers on there too, 1 through 4, so we can move the tray depth forward and back, which is great as our child gets bigger. To attach the tray on the Chicco Poly 5, just reach for this slider underneath and pop it on nice and tightly. And of course, if you want to make it more comfortable for your child to sit on or extend out their legs, you can grab this footrest here. So not only can you move this angle, but you can add this on too at different heights. Don't be scared to push it in and give it a really good clunk. There we go. Now your child can rest their legs either sitting upright or in more laid back mode. Another useful feature of the Chicco Poly Progress is the booster seat mode. So let's say you're going to grandma's house, you don't want to take the whole high chair with you. You can simply lift by means of these buttons under here to create this cool little booster seat, which you can attach to a dining room chair. So that's really, really useful if you're going out to eat somewhere or away for the night, like I mentioned. And in fact, if you press the back button right to flat, you can turn this booster into a really neat little package to pop in the back of the car. I mean, that weighs nothing at all, and it is a really stable and portable seat for your babes. And in case you're wondering, how on earth do I make sure that I attach this booster safely to a dining chair, there are straps underneath which you pull out and then attach nice and securely, so that's nothing to worry about there. And to get to the straps, you simply lift this little wardrobe, ta-da, and there they are, tucked away really nice and neat. And last but not least, you can, with the booster seat removed and the footrest removed, use this as a little chair for a toddler, so you can bring that up to the dining table or a craft table, and as I said, it will take up to 30 kilos, so we know this is going to be good for around 3 years old and beyond indeed. So just to recap on the different modes, it explains it very nicely here in the illustration. You have your traditional high chair setup for newborns from 0+, remove the outside there, and you can then use the booster seat mode at the dining chair. You can adjust the heights, you can bring it to table level. You can even use the booster with the tray, which is something I didn't mention, so that gives you even more flexibility. And finally, you can use the frame as a chair as well on its own without the booster on top. One thing I'm keen to mention also is how easily it folds. Just by pressing these buttons under these round handles here, it goes into this nice straight fold. So it's, you know, with the seat upright, it's easy to store once you finish using it. And this camera angle explains better than I just did about how neatly it stacks up there.